the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The words of Sun Tzu, the brilliant ancient strategist, not only serve as a guiding principle on the battlefield, but also resonate deeply within the Stoic philosophy we'll explore today. Imagine yourself as a warrior amidst the storms of life, unwavering and serene in your heart, despite the turbulence around you. That is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that empowers us to find peace and inner strength amidst chaos. And today, we embark on a journey to discover the art of silence, a secret weapon wielded by Stoic sages for millennia. Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village nestled among the lush green hills of India, there was a young man named Raj. Raj was known throughout the village as a talkative person, always eager to share his thoughts and opinions with everyone. He believed that words held great power, and that his intelligence would be affirmed through constant debates and discussions. One day, an old man with white hair and sharp eyes appeared in the village. He was called the Silent One, because he spoke very little, yet everyone knew him as a wise man who had traveled far and wide and possessed deep understanding of life. The villagers respected him greatly, but they could not understand why such a wise person chose to remain silent most of the time. Raj, in his pride, decided to seek out the Silent One. He believed that he could make him talk and engage in debates on various life issues. Raj wanted to prove that in a dialogue, words were the true source of power. When Raj met the Silent One, he began with complex questions about life, philosophy, and human existence, but the Silent One only smiled and did not answer. Raj continued to speak, trying to convey his ideas through analysis and reasoning. He talked and talked, hoping to elicit a response from the Silent One, but still, only silence responded. Finally, after a long time of talking to himself, Raj felt tired and frustrated. He looked into the deep eyes of the Silent One and asked, "Why don't you say anything? You're probably the only person here who can provide answers to my questions." The Silent One smiled gently and spoke slowly. "Raj, sometimes silence holds more power than words. Silence allows the soul to listen and reflect. It brings about a calmness within, where true wisdom is born." Raj was surprised and pondered over this. The Silent One continued, "When you don't speak, you learn to listen, not just to others, but also to yourself. In silence, you can see more clearly the deepest thoughts, feelings, and understandings. Words are not always the only way to convey wisdom. The power of silence lies in its ability to reveal things that words cannot express." Raj silently listened to every word of the Silent One. He realized that all this time, he had missed many valuable lessons because he always wanted to speak and argue, forgetting that sometimes listening in silence are the best ways to learn and grow. From that day forward, Raj began to change. He no longer spoke too much. Instead, he learned to be silent, to listen, and to reflect. Gradually, Raj became wiser and more composed. The villagers began to notice the change in Raj and respected him just as they respected the Silent One. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is the presence of a tranquil inner self, a hidden strength that needs no words to express itself. In today's noisy and chaotic world, mastering the art of silence is the key to transforming chaos into wisdom and noise into meaning. Together, we'll delve into how the Stoics turned silence into a life strategy, a path leading to wisdom and resilience. If you're feeling overwhelmed by life's pressures, if you yearn for a haven of peace within your soul, or if you're simply curious about the hidden power of silence, you've come to the right place. Join me as we uncover the secrets of Stoicism to understand how silence can elevate your life, bring peace amidst turmoil, and clarity amidst confusion. Let's step into the world of the silent warriors, where we find strength in stillness and power in pause. If you're ready to embark on a transformative journey with the wisdom of Stoicism, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay with us throughout this entire video to unlock the full potential of silence and its impact on your inner strength and clarity. When you speak, what you say must have value, otherwise remain silent. If verbal communication doesn't yield the desired results, it is better to stay silent. One thing you need to realize is that learning to speak effectively is not easy, but learning to be silent is even more challenging. Indeed, learning to be silent at the right moments is often regarded as an art of communication. Sometimes, silence holds greater power than words. For example, in a conflict between two people, one side continues to speak endlessly while the other remains silent, simply listening. People tend to believe that the one who stays silent is wiser. They use the power of silence to draw attention to themselves. Even without knowing who is right or wrong, the phrase "silence is golden" proves its effectiveness in this situation. This is the cleverness of those who know how to restrain themselves and remain silent at the right time. Silence does not mean agreement or acceptance of what the other person is saying. It is, in fact, a form of self-protection. Inappropriate words can sometimes backfire, leading to worse outcomes. Therefore, silence is the best key in such moments. There's a story about a company where, during a meeting, the director asked for everyone's opinions and suggestions, encouraging open discussion. Everyone eagerly contributed their ideas, except for a young man who remained silent throughout the meeting. Finally, the director noticed him and asked why he hadn't shared his thoughts like everyone else. The young man explained that, as a newcomer to the company, he felt it was best to listen and learn from others' experiences. The director found this young man to be quite unique. Although he didn't say anything at the time, he started to take notice of him. Later, the young man was transferred to the position of the director's personal secretary. In that meeting, several people made commendable suggestions, but why did the director favor the silent young man? In reality, it wasn't that the young man didn't know how to speak. Through his words, he demonstrated his competence and a humble attitude of wanting to learn. He was intelligent and knew how to conserve his energy. While he might not have spoken as eloquently as others, he caught the boss's attention through his well-timed silence, which proved to be a clever strategy. The young man's silence conveyed two things. First, he acknowledged his need to learn from others as a new employee. Second, he knew how to seize the opportunity to market himself to his boss, and naturally, with his humble attitude, he attracted the boss's attention and subsequently got a promotion. From this young man's case, we can see that there are times when silence is more powerful than words. A person who knows how to remain silent is also wise. In some situations, the mouth can harm the body, and well-timed silence can be the smartest choice. And today, let's embark on an exciting journey of discovery, where we will unveil the secrets of the hidden power of silence. 10 precious values, 10 hidden gems are waiting for you to explore, to see that silence is not just the absence of sound, but also a hidden beauty, a source of inner strength far beyond what we usually think. Number 1. Silence, a strategy to disarm your opponent. Silence, an unexpected strategy, can leave your opponent lost in the maze of their own thoughts. When you choose silence, you hold up a mirror to the world, allowing others to reveal their true nature while you remain grounded like a mighty tree weathering a storm. This is not about avoidance, but a deliberate art of stillness. In Stoic philosophy, silence is not an empty void, but a space brimming with potential. It's where we cultivate wisdom, observe, and gain a deeper understanding of the world around us. Lao Tzu once said, "Silence is a source of great strength." When we are silent, we are not caught in the whirlwind of meaningless words and pointless arguments. We keep our minds clear, focus on what truly matters, and make wise decisions. Imagine yourself in the midst of a heated debate. Instead of reacting with emotional words, you choose silence. Your silence will surprise your opponent, disorient them, and make them question their own actions. Meanwhile, you have time to observe, analyze, and find the best solution. When you are silent, your opponent cannot guess your thoughts or intentions, and this can throw them off balance. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and renowned Stoic philosopher, said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." In this situation, your silence challenges their perspective, forcing them to reconsider their stance. Silence is also an opportunity for you to observe and learn. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "We learn most when we listen." When silent, you can focus on listening and observing your opponent, gaining a deeper understanding of their motives, emotions, and weaknesses. This information can help you make wiser and more beneficial decisions in the future. Furthermore, silence is a way to demonstrate self-control and emotional mastery. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "What matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." When you choose silence instead of reacting impulsively, you prove that you can control your emotions, not allowing external influences to affect your calmness and clarity. Silence is not just a negotiation tactic or a way to deal with difficult situations. It is a way of life, a way to cultivate resilience and tranquility. When we learn to appreciate silence, we will find true peace and happiness within our souls. Number 2, silence for eliminating distractions. In the modern world, where information is overflowing and noise is incessant, seeking silence becomes a luxury. However, it is precisely in silence that we can truly focus and eliminate distractions that hinder our personal growth. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, but also a state of mental tranquility. When we embrace silence, we allow ourselves to listen to our deepest thoughts and emotions, recognize what truly matters, and find the right path. In silence, we can concentrate on work, study, or any activity without being influenced by external factors. We can be creative, think clearly, and make better decisions. By learning to let go of the noise of the outside world, we open the door to a tranquil inner space where we can contemplate and understand ourselves more deeply. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." In silence, we can re-examine our thoughts, emotions, and actions more objectively. We can identify what truly matters, what is distracting us, and what we need to change to live a more meaningful life. Silence is also a method to cultivate focus and patience. When we learn to sit still and focus on our breath, we are training our ability to control our minds, not letting negative thoughts or fleeting desires dominate us. This patience and focus will help us overcome difficulties and challenges in life more easily. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "Silence is a lesson more valuable than any words." When we are silent, we open our hearts to receive lessons from life, from those around us, and from ourselves. We learn to listen, observe, and reflect, thereby drawing valuable experiences to grow and develop. Therefore, take time each day to seek silence, even if it's just a few short minutes. Turn off your phone, computer, and other electronic devices. Find a quiet place to meditate, read a book, or simply close your eyes and listen to your breath. You will be surprised by the benefits that silence brings to your life. We've only covered 1/5 of the journey, so be sure to hit the subscribe button to not miss any valuable lessons. Number 3. Silence commands attention. In a world brimming with noise and haste, silence stands out as a precious gem. It commands attention in a peculiar way, like a peaceful pause in the symphony of life. When everyone around you is vying to be heard, your silence becomes a magnet that draws all eyes. Silence is not a sign of timidity or lack of confidence, but rather a manifestation of self-control and inner strength. When you know how to use silence skillfully, it can become a powerful communication tool, helping you make a lasting impression and capture the interest of others. Imagine you are attending an important meeting. While everyone is engaged in heated debate, you choose to remain silent, listening and observing. Your silence will make people curious, wondering what you are thinking and what your opinion is on the matter being discussed. And when you do speak, people will listen more attentively, because they know that you do not speak empty words, but rather that every word you utter has value and meaning. Silence is also a way to show respect for others. When you listen in silence, you are showing them that you care about what they have to say and that you value their opinions. This will help you build better and more lasting relationships. Imagine silence as a pristine white canvas where the other person can freely project their innermost thoughts and feelings. It is not just a physical pause, but also an open mental space where ideas are free to sprout and flourish. When we choose to listen instead of rushing to respond, we are not being passive, but rather actively entering the other person's world. This act of deep empathy, rooted in Stoic philosophy, not only fosters relationships, but also opens the door to understanding those around us. Silence, a powerful tool, can change the way we communicate in all relationships, from personal to professional, and even in our inner dialogues. Silence is not only the art of listening, but also the art of understanding. In silence, we can perceive the most subtle vibrations from the other person, their unspoken feelings, their secret desires. It is the moment we transcend the limits of language to touch the hearts and souls of each other. Silence is also a precious medicine for the soul. In a noisy and hectic world, silence helps us find balance and inner peace. It is the time to listen to our own voice, to reassess our true values, and to find meaning in life. Cherish the moments of silence, for they are a priceless gift from life. In silence, we discover the wonders of love, friendship, and even ourselves. Silence is not the end, but the beginning of better things. So number 4, silence, a hidden source of strength. Have you ever entered a room and been captivated by someone who didn't speak much yet exuded extraordinary confidence and authority? These are individuals who have mastered the art of silence, a life philosophy deeply rooted in Stoic values. Stoicism, with its emphasis on introspection and inner peace, affirms the hidden power within moments of quietude. Like drawing water from a deep well, the deeper we delve within ourselves, the more abundant our spiritual resources become. Moments of silence are not merely the absence of sound, but opportunities for us to engage in dialogue with ourselves, listening to our deepest thoughts, emotions, and intuition. Silence is not passivity or avoidance, but a conscious form of presence. It's when we focus our entire attention on our inner world, where ideas, emotions, and aspirations are freely expressed. In these silent conversations, we can discern what we truly desire, our core values, and the path we wish to take in life. For instance, a skilled leader may not need to say much to inspire and guide their team. Their silence demonstrates confidence, attentiveness, and the ability to think deeply, fostering trust and respect from those around them. Or, a talented artist might find creative inspiration in moments of quietude, when the mind is liberated from noisy and distracting thoughts. Or a talented artist might find creative inspiration in moments of quietude, when the mind is liberated from noisy and distracting thoughts. The tranquil paintings of Edward Hopper, or the wordless compositions of Ludovico Einaudi, exemplify the power of silence in evoking deep emotions. Silence not only helps us understand ourselves better, but also allows us to connect more deeply with the world around us. When we don't rush to fill the void with words, we can listen and observe more acutely, thereby understanding and empathizing with others more genuinely. A true friend may not need to offer many words of comfort, but simply being present and sharing silent moments of empathy is enough to soothe another's pain. Even in love, sometimes silence is the most sincere and profound way to express affection. The journey of discovering the power of silence is not an easy one. It requires patience, discipline, and the courage to confront the hidden corners of our souls. But when we overcome these challenges, we realize that silence is not just a tool for self-development, but an art of living that helps us achieve true peace, confidence, and happiness. As the philosopher Pythagoras once said, "Silence is the greatest wisdom." Number 5. Freedom from pride or arrogance. Freedom from pride or arrogance is not about self-deprecation, but about seeing oneself truthfully, without letting success or failure obscure one's true worth. It's a journey of seeking balance between confidence and humility, between recognizing one's own value and understanding that achievements do not make us superior to anyone else. Stoic philosophy teaches us that this balance is not just a virtue of humility, but also the truth of human nature. When we accept this truth, our interactions with the world will change. We will no longer focus on self-expression, but on listening and understanding others. Those who practice this philosophy tend to speak less, not because they lack knowledge, but because they understand the value of words. They choose their words carefully, ensuring that each utterance carries true meaning and value, not empty platitudes. As the philosopher Seneca once said, we should talk less and listen more. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, who dedicated time each day to journaling his reflections on life and Stoic philosophy. He did not need to flaunt his power or boast of his achievements, but simply lived a simple, sincere, and intellectual life. His silence was a manifestation of inner strength and focus on what truly mattered. Or take Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, who taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He overcame life's hardships by accepting what was beyond his control and focusing on what he could change, his attitude and thoughts. His silence was a way for him to find stillness and reclaim inner peace. In essence, Stoic philosophy does not encourage absolute silence, but moderation in speech and action. It is a deliberate silence, allowing us to listen, reflect, and act more wisely. As the philosopher Zeno, founder of the Stoic school, said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Number 6. Silence in negotiations, a secret weapon. In the world of negotiations filled with words, silence emerges as a powerful secret weapon. It's not a sign of lack of confidence or concession, but a subtle strategy, demonstrating composure, self-control, and the ability to manage the situation. The pauses between exchanges not only create space for reflection and analysis of the situation, but also provide opportunities for the other party to reveal more information and intentions. Like a seasoned chess player, a skilled negotiator knows how to use silence to their advantage, forcing the opponent to fill the void with words that may reveal their weaknesses. Silence is also a way to show respect, listen, and understand the other party, thereby building trust and paving the way for mutually beneficial agreements. In negotiations, sometimes the best answer is to say nothing at all. Not only that, silence is also a way to demonstrate confidence and courage. When you are confident in your position in arguments, you don't need to say too much to convince the other party. Silence in this case becomes a powerful message, showing that you are not easily swayed and are willing to wait for a better offer. Furthermore, silence helps you avoid regrettable mistakes due to haste or temporary emotions. By remaining silent, you have time to think thoroughly, assess the situation, and make more informed decisions. Silence is not just a negotiation tactic, but also a subtle art of communication. Knowing how to use silence skillfully will help you become a talented negotiator, achieving the best results in every negotiation. So why do people who speak less, especially in negotiations, often find themselves in a position of strength? It's not about holding back for the sake of mystery, but about creating space. This space is not just a pause between words, but also time for reflection, for thoughts to settle, allowing us to see the core of what's truly important. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In the context of negotiation, silence is the power that helps us master the game, not by overwhelming the opponent with words, but by steering the conversation skillfully and thoughtfully. When we are silent, we allow the other party to reveal their thoughts, emotions, and motives. We can observe their body language, listen to the nuances in their words, and thereby make more accurate judgments about the situation. Silence is also a way for us to demonstrate confidence and patience, showing the other party that we are not in a hurry, not pressured by time, and willing to wait for a better offer. Moreover, silence is also a way for us to show respect to the other party. When we listen sincerely, without interrupting or refuting, we are showing our concern and goodwill. This helps to create an open and trusting atmosphere, setting the stage for successful negotiations. Silence is not passivity, but an active and powerful strategy. It requires alertness, focus, and the ability to control emotions. When we know how to use silence effectively, we can turn it into a powerful tool to achieve our goals in negotiations and in life. Number 7, silence, a form of kindness. In a world filled with noise and commotion, silence is often overlooked and seen as a weakness or lack of communication. However, silence can also be a profound expression of kindness and care towards others. When we are silent, we give our undivided attention to the person in front of us, listening not only with our ears but also with our hearts. We do not interrupt, we do not judge, we simply are there, accompanying and understanding. This sincere listening is a precious gift we can give to others, helping them feel respected, understood, and shared. Silence is not just about not speaking, but also the ability to perceive and understand the emotions and thoughts of others. When we are silent, we can put ourselves in their shoes, see the issue from their perspective, and from there offer the most sincere advice and support. Sometimes silence is the best way to show respect for others. especially when they're going through difficulties or grief. Instead of trying to offer empty advice, be silent and be there for them so they can feel your empathy and support. In a world full of hustle and bustle, silence is like a peaceful oasis, helping us soothe our souls and heal our wounds. When we are silent, we can look back at ourselves, find peace and balance in our souls. Moreover, silence is also an act of kindness to ourselves. In moments of quietude, we can listen to our inner voice, understand more clearly our desires, dreams, and values. We have time to reflect on our decisions and actions, thereby drawing valuable lessons and maturing. Number 8, the art of deep listening in Stoicism. In Stoic philosophy, the art of deep listening is regarded as a valuable quality, a gateway to wisdom and understanding. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This quote emphasizes the importance of listening over speaking, especially in the process of communication and learning. Deep listening is not merely hearing the words of others, but also the ability to perceive and understand their emotions, thoughts, and perspectives. It requires intense focus, respect, and openness to receive nonverbal messages. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Listen to criticism, but don't let it discourage you. Learn from it and become better." According to Stoic philosophy, deep listening not only helps us understand others better, but also helps us understand ourselves better. When we listen sincerely and without judgment, we open up the opportunity to see the world from different perspectives, thereby expanding our understanding and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, once shared, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." For example, when a friend is going through a difficult time, instead of rushing to give advice, take the time to listen to them sincerely. Let them pour out their hearts, share their sorrows and reflections. Your listening will help them feel understood and supported, thereby finding the strength to overcome difficulties. Or at work, when a colleague offers a different opinion, listen and try to understand their perspective. You may discover new aspects of the problem or find more creative solutions. Moreover, deep listening is also a way to show respect and care for others. When we take the time and attention to listen to someone, we are sending a message that they are important and what they say is valuable. This not only helps to build good relationships, but also creates an open and sincere communication environment. For example, in a family gathering, listening to the stories of grandparents and parents not only shows filial piety, but also helps us understand more about the roots and traditions of the family. Deep listening is a skill that can be practiced and developed over time. By practicing mindfulness, patience, and empathy, we can become better listeners, thereby opening the door to true wisdom and happiness. As Seneca said, "There is nothing better than a friend unless it is a friend who can listen." Number 9, the art of reflective wisdom. The art of reflective wisdom is a journey of deep introspection where we confront ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, and motivations. It is not about self-criticism or dwelling on mistakes, but a process of observation and understanding so that we can make wise decisions and live a more meaningful life. Like looking in a mirror, reflective wisdom allows us to see different aspects of ourselves, both good and bad. We recognize our strengths to develop and weaknesses to improve. We gain a clearer understanding of our values, beliefs, and goals, thereby directing our lives in the right and suitable direction. Reflective wisdom, as Seneca said, is the care of the soul. It is the continuous process of examining ourselves, our thoughts, actions, and emotions in the light of reason and morality. It is not to blame ourselves or dwell on mistakes, but to understand their nature, thereby adjusting and aiming for improvement. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, once wrote in his Meditations, "Examine yourself daily to see how much progress you have made in becoming a better person." This is not a call to be perfect, but a reminder of the importance of constantly looking back at ourselves, learning from mistakes, and developing good qualities. Reflective wisdom not only helps us understand ourselves better, but also helps us face life's challenges calmly and wisely. When we are aware of our thoughts and emotions, we will no longer be blindly controlled by them. We will be able to choose how to react appropriately to each situation instead of being swept away by fleeting emotions. For example, when faced with failure, instead of dwelling on self-blame and despair, we can use reflective wisdom to review the process, learn from the experience, and find a new direction. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you think about it that matters." The journey of discovering reflective wisdom is not always easy. It requires honesty, courage, and perseverance. But when we embark on this journey, we will realize that it is the path to true maturity, freedom, and happiness. As Seneca affirmed, life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. And reflective wisdom is the tool that helps us experience life to the fullest and most meaningfully. Number 10, resilience in adversity. In the hustle and bustle of life, there are those who don't need flowery words to capture attention and win hearts. They possess a unique allure, a beauty emanating from their tranquility and profound inner self. Those who master the art of silence often exude an aura of authority, confidence, and resilience. They don't need words to show off, but leave a lasting impression through their ability to listen and understand. Their silence is not a sign of weakness or lack of confidence, but an expression of self-control and emotional mastery. Embarking on the path of silence is like embarking on a journey to discover a hidden treasure deep within our souls, a resilient strength that has been forgotten amidst the noise of everyday life. This journey reveals that those who speak less often possess an extraordinary inner strength, an admirable ability to cope with adversity, especially valuable in today's ever-changing world. Stoic philosophy, timeless as the stars, teaches us that this silent resilience does not come from denying our voice, but from mastering it, knowing when to speak up and when to remain silent. It is a testament to the value of listening, understanding, and reflecting before speaking, reflecting the Stoic practice of controlling one's actions and reactions. What makes these reticent individuals so captivating, earning respect and admiration? It's because they embody the Stoic virtue of restraint, showing us that true wisdom doesn't always lie in the quantity of words, but in the quality of thoughts behind them. They understand, as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus did, that our words carry weight, and by conserving them, we give more meaning to the ones we choose to share. To cultivate this Stoic resilience, we need to change our perspective on silence. Instead of seeing it as a meaningless void, view silence as fertile ground where the potential for growth and understanding is nurtured. By cherishing moments of quietude, we open ourselves to the lessons that adversity brings, learning to respond with clarity and purpose rather than reacting impulsively. For example, when faced with a setback at work, instead of wallowing in disappointment and blaming circumstances, we can take time for quiet contemplation. In that tranquil space, we can objectively reassess the situation, analyze mistakes, and find solutions. We learn to accept what has happened, draw lessons, and move forward with a stronger mindset. This practice, like the reflective exercises of Stoics, helps us cultivate the ability to remain calm in the storms of life. We are no longer swept away by negative emotions, but find strength from within to face any challenge. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When we see difficulties as opportunities for growth and development, we will no longer fear or avoid them, but will face them with all our courage and wisdom. I am deeply grateful for your companionship on this journey and for becoming a valued member of our Stoic community, where we collectively seek deeper understanding and embody virtue in our daily lives. Before we conclude, I invite you to take a moment and leave a comment below. Silence. This simple act of commitment can mark the beginning of a profound shift in how we perceive and interact with the world around us. But don't let this be the end of your exploration. A whole world of Stoic wisdom awaits you in the next video, ready to inspire and fortify your spirit. By choosing to subscribe and engage more with the Stoic practices we discuss, you're not just learning. You're undergoing a transformation that transcends knowledge and delves into the realm of true personal growth. And don't forget to take a moment to click on one of the suggested videos on your screen. Together, let's expand our minds and spirits. Your journey towards becoming a more profound and impactful individual has just begun.